Alrighty guys, as DK brings another Dragon Ball Legends TOP guide video. This is going to be in regards to TOP season 63. So last season we ended at rank 1546, which is insanely good. As we usually place around the 3000, 4000 range, we did end up getting the top cut title for the season, but I do have to say the season was pretty difficult, right? I think things would have been a lot easier if we used Fat Boo in place of the green cell, so that we would have had double healers in exchange for a bit of a blow to points. Remember, we're not trying to get rank 1, we're not trying to get in the top 1000 necessarily. If it happens, it happens, that's cool, I'm happy about it, right? But the main goal is to always just get that juicy 1000 CC. And before we move on, remember there will always be timestamps in the description down below. That way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be talking about as per usual is our pathing. You're going to see most of the first half is going to be towards the left side. Most of the second half is going to be towards the right side. As always, the circled fights are going to be the most important fights. You do get it, the point system in TOP is based off of your win streak. It heavily values your win streak, right? So your 5th win, 10th win, 15th win, 20th win, 25th win, those are the most important fights, and those are the fights that I do have circled right here. Typically, you do want to go for the highest difficulty fights in terms of fists, right? It does gauge the difficulty of the fights by fist, 3 fists, 4 fists, 5 fists, not by the units that you're necessarily going against. But I do want to make it clear that the blue pathing is subject to change. A lot of the times I do end up straying from it, but I do hit those circled fights. Next subject, we do have tips and tricks. The first thing I'm going to tell you guys, or any newcomer coming to TOP, is farm your friendship rank. Farm your friendship rank. You can see right here, all of these units are friendship rank 10. That's where you do want to have them at, except for this green green baby Vegeta, right? So that means for the duration of this season, I'm going to be working on his friendship rank. The friendship rank is important because it gives you an overall buff to your stats, specifically for the TOP game mode. Let's take a look at another example, like this Buhan, for example, right? If we look at his status in TOP stats, he has 2,637 key restore speed, which is phenomenal. That's really, really good for TOP standards, right? If you look at regular stats, it's at 2,512. You will see that increase amongst all of your stats. Get your units to friendship rank 10. There are a couple ways to farm your friendship rank. You're going to want to go ahead and go into the Let's Fight. This specifically targets friendship rank points for one unit. You get 3 of these a day. I do recommend you doing them. The other way is definitely the more tedious way. You're going to go into part 6 of the story mode. It's going to be book 1, chapter 8, a wall to overcome. You go against the Super Saiyan 3 Goku of the yellow typing. This will be able to farm friendship rank for 3 units, since you can bring 3 units into the fight, but this is super tedious. I normally do not recommend doing this unless you are trying your hardest to squeeze out some friendship rank. But in order to make this process a lot quicker, you do want to farm this specific equip right here. I have a friendship rank grinding team. You could see right here towards the right, we have all the units with the same equip on, right? So it's this one specifically. There's no way that we could lose to someone like you. You get this from the Z Metal shop, and as you can see, it does give you percentage buffs to friendship points gained, and these do stack. That's why they allow you to put more than one of the same equip on. I can have it on all 6 of these units right here, so this is something you might want to invest in. Another thing that I want to quickly mention for the tips and tricks thing as well is that Andy8 Gaming mentioned, check him out, he will be linked in the description down below. He does run Androids if you guys are focused on an Androids oriented team for TOP. He said that, or he informed me that arts boosting, the special move of the lower star characters, can increase their defenses, right? So that kind of compensates for that. So you combine that arts boosting their super attack with the fact that you're getting their friendship rank to 10, that can help a lot, especially if you guys are struggling with the stars. So now let's talk about the difficult stages that you're going to come across in your pathing right here. This is the first fight you actually go up against. It is against the kid stage. This one's not too bad if you target the right units first. You have to kill this Kid Gohan first. He will get a super attack per dead ally, and then after that you have to go for the Goten because he will super attack on turn 2. You can avoid both of these things. Next, we have another Kid Gohan stage. You want to kill that Kid Gohan first. If possible, kill the Beerus on turn 1 as well, because he will stun you at the start of turn 2. If you can't do that, then killing Kid Gohan on turn 1 is sufficient enough. Next, we have this fight, which is a little bit annoying because there's a lot of damage mitigation going on right here. This purple Jiren will stun you on turn 1. Nothing you can do about it. You just kind of have to eat it. But this Beerus, target him first because, again, he will stun you at the start of turn 2. You can at least mitigate that, right? Get that out of the way. Next, we do have this Vegeta stage. I like going for the God Vegeta first since he does have a cover change that isn't restricted by a health gate, right? So I don't want to come across that at all. And usually after that, I will go for the Evo Vegeta. Just make sure you go for the Death Buff Vegeta, which is that purple one, at the end, right? Because when you kill him, obviously he's going to distribute those death buffs. Next is the Cyberman squad with Nappa. I do like going for Nappa first since he does provide board-wide debuffs, and they can be crippling, right? And then before turn 4, remember, before turn 4, you have to kill that blue Cyberman because he will get a guaranteed super attack on turn 4. Next, we have this double Broly stage. This is a stage that we've been seeing a lot lately in the past couple of seasons and stuff like that. I do like going for Ultra Broly first since he stuns you at the start of turn 2, and then Sparking Broly second because he will stun you at the end of turn 2. Next, we have the Sagas with Ultra Gogeta. This one's not too terrible. You just have to kill Ultra Gogeta first. The reason why I warn about Ultra Gogeta is because he will build his super attack gauge per dead ally. I believe it's by 20%, 25%, maybe it could be higher. I haven't read the kit in a while, but I just know that you need to focus him down first and foremost, or at the very minimum, early on, within the first 3 units, right? You kill him first, and you're good to go. Next, we do have this Vegeta clan stage. There's not necessarily a unit that'll super attack you here. You just have to be aware that there's 3 cover changes, right? Evo Vegeta has the cover change, the LF Trunks both have cover changes, and then the tag duo have a cover change as well. So they're all health restricted, so it is annoying. You get a unit low and someone comes in and saves them, blah blah blah. But my rule of thumb for stages with tag units is I do like going for the tag units first, so take that with a grain of salt. Next, we have Mono Red, typically with the inclusion of 1 blue unit, but for these stages, I do like going for Tapion first, if Tapion is included on these stages, just because Tapion will reduce one of your unit's super gauge down to 0, and that is at the mercy of RNG. So a unit could have a 99% to their super attack or 100% to their super attack on turn 2. Tapion, if he activates it on that unit, his green card effect basically on turn 2, then he will go ahead and strip you away from that. So this fight, you guys do have to worry about a little bit, right? There's 2 super attackers here, and do not get confused by this first unit that I'm going to tell you to target first, is the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku Sparking. You need to kill the Sparking Yellow God, or Super Saiyan God Blue Goku first, because he will super attack you at the start of turn 2. He does have a high Q restore speed as well. This the blue Kaioken Goku, the standard Kaioken Goku from the Saiyan Saga, he will super attack you at the start of turn 3. He also has a pretty decent Q restore speed as well. And last but not least, we do have the final boss fight against Vegeta Clan. Typically what I like to do here is I would like to get the green Mai before the end of turn 2. Why? Because she will flashbang you, right? She'll stun one of your units and stuff like that, so I do tend to want to get that out of the way early on, right? Before it happens, at least. And then I like to kill the buff Trunks, this guy right here, before the red Vegeta. That's important to note, right? Because if you kill the Vegeta first, that will activate one of his passive abilities where he gains 100% to a super attack gauge. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about very briefly is girls, right? They just got 2 Zenkais, and I've been actually seeing both of these Zenkais being ran on these teams right here, right? The Chi Chi Zenkai and the Blue Bulma Zenkai, which we will go over in the new units segments of the video. But right here, we do have the rank 1 player. He's only using one of the Zenkais, but obviously that's more than enough, right? I would say make sure to have a healer or 2 for this team at a minimum, right? You have a lot of options right here. This person is using the elusive yellow 18, but this blue Kale is S tier. She will heal the little row right above you, and then this red 18, she will heal the diagonals above you. So we do have super warriors, right? So yellow Piccolo is an S tier. That is your healer. do be careful with him because he is paper thin. He's pretty squishy, right? This is definitely a more difficult team to use. I like subbing out some units here and there to make it easier, such as using this Namek Saga Krillin because he does have that solar flare, and then this green ToP Tien since he also has that solar flare, right? So you can kind of stun your lock, or so you can kind of abuse that a little bit. Blue Tien obviously is very solid here, and Baseball Yamcha being in Z tier plus being the support of the team, since he also does mitigate a blast arts. And again, a sleeper unit that goes over many people's heads for this team is this red Tien, since he does debuff the entire enemy board. So next thing we're going to be talking about is hybrids slash Sun family. So the person right here on the right hand side is using hybrids, right? He's rank 26, which is huge. The reason why this team is going to be thriving this season is because look at the S tier lineup. You got yellow Goten, the Kaioken Goku, the blue one, the green Namek Goku as the healer. There's a lot of great stuff going on right here, but specifically that yellow Goten, he will guarantee super on turn 2 as well as provide a support. As you can see right here, he does buff those diagonals. He's probably a must bring for the team, whether you're doing hybrids or Sun family. For guaranteed safety, definitely pick up some C tier characters. You can see right here, I do have Beast Gohan on backup as well as the Blue Boys, because these guys do buff Sun family, right? They heal and they farm their super gauge relatively quick. So they're definitely nice to have on the team. But I'm telling you guys, this squad right here will be a cakewalk. 100% this will be a cakewalk right here. You're gonna have a guaranteed super attack from Goten on turn 2. You're gonna have a guaranteed super attack from this guy on turn 3, and then this guy is going to be super attacking every other fight because he does get 50% to special move gauge per fight, right? And then of course, like I had already said, these guys get so much special move gauge, right? So at the start of the second turn, 15% right there, and then they also get 20% to the special move gauge charge rate. You're going to be seeing them pop it off every so often. Alright, so next we will be talking about USS. This team is thriving even without Blue Kale, which is a shocker to me. I'm not gonna lie, this person is ranked 27 using the Blue Champa instead of the Kale. I would still heavily advise bringing in Blue Kale for heals since she is S tier. Remember that this team has the ability to run Go Frieza, which I definitely would take advantage of. Just remember that I always heavily advocate to bring in a C tier unit or 2 even. For this team, you can even bring in that ToP 18 that we mentioned earlier, the yellow one, whom I do not have, instead of one of the yellows that you see right here on my own squad. This team is going to be pretty easy though, I would say, especially since we're getting a little bit more replacements. Obviously the Kakunza I replaced with either the Brigadmo or the Vados, and then Go Frieza replaced another one of the purples since you do start off in the purple Goku. And if you're unsure of who to replace that Blue Kale with, the Ribrianne will do a good job since she does have good debuffs, or even this, if you go into a lower tier, into A tier, this Blue Jiren has a buff against Sun Family and God Ki, and then he also has a heal at the end of turn 2, which is nice. So last but not least, we have regeneration, and I found another top 100 regeneration user right here. So let's talk about his team real quick. First off, that purple Super Boo, I hate that man. I will never use him again. We have used him before, and you guys saw how bad it turned out, right? Like it was like he died in the first half, I believe, or something like that. It was miserable using him right here. Obviously, this guy does lay it on thick with the Z tier units. He has that purple Super Boo, the red Super Boo, and the yellow Slug. So he needs those 2 healers, right? He has Super Baby 2 and the Fat Boo. He has the Kamikala, which I am a very big fan of. He does have the Zenkai Slug, who's alright. Right, he's not bad, nor is he amazing. And the purple Janemba, who actually I think is really good. But as for us, let's go through what we're going to be using right now. So we have 0 Z tier pickups right here. But if we hop into S tier, we have some guys right here, right? So we have the purple Cell. We love this guy. He debuffs the entire enemy board. And we have Buhan back in S tier, and he has been our little passion project, right? Remember, he was 3 stars. He is now 6 stars, friendship rank 10. I expect him to fully be thriving in his environment right now, and we are going back to our roots with 2 healers. This is going to be our supplementary healer though, because remember, we've already talked about him in the Super Warrior section. This guy is very paper thin. We're going to only use him when we need the extra heals. And then instead of the green cell, I want to try out this guy. right? I have seen a couple of you guys mention that you use the baby Vegeta instead of the green cell because he also does provide support. He heals himself by 3% at the start of each turn, right? So maybe this will be a good change. The only downside about him that I can notice is that he doesn't actually buff regeneration. And then in A tier, we do have that Piccolo. That's our super attack farmer, right? It's very easy to get super attacks with that guy since he does get 20% to it per fight. And then in B tier, we do have the Red 21. Double reds again. I love running the double reds right here, and this unit is amazing. Her and Buhan are going to pair extremely well since they both have extremely high key restore speed. Yellow units are not going to stand a chance, right? Buhan, he does, or not Buhan, I'm sorry about that, Super Boo. The Boo tanks does have that guaranteed super on turn 1, which is huge. We have been using and abusing that for a good while now, and we're going to continue to do so. And then in C tier, our only C tier unit is Super Baby 2, the blue one. We are never getting rid of him. We are never getting rid of him. I love that man. Alright, so let's talk about new units now. The new Goku. So ToP stats, maximum stats, Dragon Ball Saga hype. 2,268 for the key restore speed is pretty rough. That's definitely on the lower side, right? Blue card and the ultimate ability right here. Root of Resilience, 65% to damage inflicted, 20% to damage cuts, and after receiving an attack, allies in range restores health by 1%. So kind of similar to the yellow cooler Super Saiyan Goku character, right? So a healer, we definitely will take that. That already gives him some value right here. This guy might even replace Dynamic Goku. What is his Z ability? Just real quick. So tag DB, Saiyan, or Sun family. Yep. So this is your replacement for that Dynamic Saga Goku right there. If you guys do want to invest in stars for this man, right? It only activates twice though. Plus 20 to key recovery activates twice, 10% to damage inflicted activates twice. According to battle turn, first turn minus 5% to damage received for 1 turn cannot be cancelled. Second turn restores own health by 1% and health of allied tag DB in range by 1%. Listen, bud, they should have just did restores health by allied, just allies in general. There's not going to be a lot of people running Dragon Ball Saga in ToP, right? Maybe battle more, but that's literally, it's like the 1%, right? Third turn, 30% to own damage inflicted. He does have a cover change, health restricted by 30%. At the end of turn, he cancels attribute upgrades and buff effects, activates once, inflicts attribute downgrade, minus 20 to key recovery for 1 turn. Inflicts attribute downgrade plus 10% to damage received for 1 turn. That's pretty good, right? Is that to the entire enemy? The entire enemy squad? Because if so, that's amazing. And on Ultimate Arts activation, plus 15% to ultimate damage for 1 turn. I would say he's pretty damn good, right? I would say he's pretty solid, especially, like I said, just the healing aspect is going to give him some value. It just really, it honestly doesn't even really matter what tier he lands in. If you have him at high stars, I suspect people will use him. All right, next is Piccolo Jr., right? ToP stats, maximum stats, key restore speed, 2002. Dude, they're making these newer units low key restore speed. He has the blue card in the ultimate. First ability, 80% to damage inflicted, 15% to damage cuts, 20% to key recover. Why didn't they give this to Goku? Goku got plus 20 to key recovery. This guy gets plus 20%. And you apply the buff effect, restores 10% of damage received as their own health, right? Up to 10% of own health. That's pretty good. At start of the third turn, own health is 70% or below. Activate special action, activates 1 time. It's a little bit niche. I'm not a big fan of those abilities where you have to dip below a certain HP, right? Again, I feel like those abilities are more catered towards the enemy team, or when you're going up against these units, right? After activating a special action, restore health by 2%, 20% to damage inflicted, another 10% to key recovery, and 20% to your special move gauge. So you really want him to go below 70%, and that's not gonna happen every single time, right? After receiving an attack on health is 50% or below, you upgrade your special move art. See, another one, they gave him 2. So you want to dip below 70% for this, you want to dip below 50% for that. I do not like that. I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard on the unit. Let me know what you guys think. He does have a cover change that is health restricted by 30%, plus 15% to damage inflicted. Blast Arts attack, 10% to blast damage inflicted, and 3% to special move gauge. That brought me back. On Blast attack, so 3, 6, 9, 12. He's getting 12% quick mass per fight. It's alright. It's alright. On Special Move Arts attack, 15% thrown special move damage inflicted for 1 turn, and you inflict them with a minus 15% to damage inflicted. Okay. And on ultimate arts, you get 15% to own ultimate damage inflicted, and you inflict enemy with attribute downgrade -50 to key recovery and -30% to enemy special gauge. Again, very niche. If a unit's going to be super attacking, I'm gonna be aware of it, right? I'm gonna make you guys aware of it, and we're gonna avoid it regardless. So, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this guy. All right, so now let's talk about Chi Chi. Right, we're going to go ahead and look at her ToP stats at maximum stats, so this means her Zenkai levels are going to be included. Key restore speed is 2,441, that's solid, right? It can go up with Friendship Rank, has the blue card and the ultimate ability right here. First ability, 50% damage inflicted, -15% damage received for 1 turn, started the turn per other ally tag. Girls, again, she's going to definitely be seen most on girls. 5% damage inflicted per girl, right? And then +30 to key recovery for 1 turn. That's really good, I think. Honestly, I would have to see it in action though. On hit, target is Sun Family. There's a lot of Saiyans, a lot of Sun Family units in ToP, right? There's all the Gohan units, the Goten units, Goku units, so that's valuable already. 30% of damage inflicted on receiving an attack, Sun Family, -30% of damage received. I think she's gonna be a tanky. At the start of the battle, if there is an enemy tag Sun Family remaining, you get 30% to special move damage inflicted and 30% to ultimate damage inflicted. Okay, not bad. It definitely, there's not like paragraphs here like the other units, but I think this is a huge W for girls. And then last but not least, we do have this Bulma right here that just got his Zenkai as well. Her key restore speed is insane. This is probably the highest key restore speed I have ever seen. 2,987? That easily breaks 3,000 with Friendship Rank 10. Holy smokes, I've never realized that. He has the blue card and, dude, I'm sorry, I'm so flabbergasted by that key restore speed. It has the ultimate as well. First ability, 65% to damage inflicted for 1 turn, -20% to damage received for 1 turn, and 15% to special move gauge activates twice. 30% in total per fight. That's more than the Piccolo, right? That's a big deal. That is a big deal. And at the end of turn, own health is 70% of. Oh my god, bruh. Why? Why can't it just be as long as you're 70% or above, like the Super Vegeta Zenkai? That's a good ability. Restores own health by 10%, activates once. It's all right. It's not the worst though. It's not like it's 50% or below at least. 25% to damage inflicted, +50 to key recovery. Okay, activates twice, and you upgrade your special move arts, activates once. At the start of the second turn, activate special action, multi-target, does 5 spaces including her own. 20% to damage inflicted by allies in range for 2 turns, that's very nice. And 30 to key recovery of allies in range for 2, very, very nice. And you cancel all enemies buff. Oh, she's broken. Oh, she is broken, bro. And on special move or ultimate arts hit, allies in range 10% to damage inflicted. And on ultimate arts hit inflicts can't attack? Oh, I think she's broken, bruh. That's probably one of the best like Zenkai upgrades we've seen for ToP. Alright, so that being said, that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys need replacements for any of the teams listed, even if teams were not listed, I could probably still assist you in picking someone, right? So definitely let me know in the comment section and down below. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys leave a like and maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one. Later!